Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Today we are at the next topic, that is the knight Endgames, and we are at the second position of our topic. We have got a very interesting position here. It's white to play, and we see that white has got lot of space in the center, in the king side, and also on the queen side. So white pawns are basically ahead everywhere. See, on the king side the pawn has reached the h6 square. In the center it's on d5 controlling c6 and e6. And the a5 stops the advance of the b7 pawn. The e8 knight is passive. Somehow black is holding the game. He has got the opposition with him. So this is the position. It's white to play and win here. And white found the interesting idea, we would say. It requires some analysis. The white king wants to enter into the position and take advantage of the poor placing of the e8 knight. So white goes with the move nf8. Not only the knight attacks h7, but it's like a typical deflection sacrifice, but at what cost? See, the whole knight is given up and white is not getting a pawn also instantly. Let's go into the next move and see what he is looking at. After king f8, king enters e6, and suddenly we see that black is in a state of zugzwang. Three lines appear here. The move kg8, knight c7 check, and knight g7 check, which happens to be the main line. If king goes to g8, then simply white plays ke7 and look at the poor state of the e8 knight. Knight g7 might transpose to the game. We can also do kd6. Here knight c7, king takes d6, and we see again the knight is in big trouble. Knight goes to e8, and after ke7, knight c7, d6, and we see that the d pawn promotes. The knight is placed so badly that it is not even able to stop advance of a single pawn. So white wins here. After knight c7 check also, nothing much changes. Simply king takes d6, knight goes to e8, king e6, and again knight can go to c7 trying to give checks, but just king comes to f6. And we see that if black plays ke8, then just e5. Look at the paralyzed state of the c7 knight. It has got only the a8 square. King is going to g7. Pawns are advancing to e6 and d6. White is winning here. And after knight e8 check once again, white can now go ke6, knight c7 check, and he can go with the move kd7. Again we see same situation. Knight goes to e8. And the pawn reaches e5. Look at the state of zugzwang here. Pawn is reaching e6 and d6, and soon the king will make way for one of the pawns to promote. Meanwhile, the knight and the king are still stuck. So white is winning here, of course. Black tried the main move in the game, which leads to very interesting race of pawns, and let's see what happens there. So black goes ng7 check, h into g7, king takes g7, kd6, h5. White has many ways to win here. White can consider the move king a6, trying to come king f5. But after ke6, black has a very decent try in the move king f8. Although that is also winning. But white goes for the more forced variation. He goes ke7, snatching the control of f7 and f8, both the squares. So h4, d6, h3, d7, h2, d8, queens, and after the only move h1 queen, white starts queen f8 check, nicely exploiting the poor position of the black king, and white takes the pawn with a check. King h7, queen f7 check, king h8, queen f6 check, king h7, and e5. And if we continue little further, here actually black resigned, but suppose he tries to bring the queen closer, then simply this pawn can be improved. And we see after any move like queen e3 or queen e1, king can move to d7, and after queen d2 check, king can simply try to hide on the c8 square, and we see that the e pawn will prevail and promote to queen. So white wins in this case as well. The position was a bit tricky. but I hope you will find it interesting and useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.